Caitlin Clark makes her debut appearance on Netflix with David Letterman on his show.
And this was probably the most viral clip of them all. Caitlin Clark talking about how she scored 22 points in 2 minutes against a men's practice team.
Caitlin Clark makes her debut appearance on Netflix with David Letterman on his show. Caitlin Clark just made her debut on Letterman's Netflix show, and oh boy, this is huge, guys. The buzz around this episode was real, especially after Caitlin and David Letterman were spotted together at the iconic Long's Bakery in Indiana. The anticipation off the charts, and let's just say it did not disappoint. What are we doing? I'll just take a Bloody Mary. Oh, that's a passive joke. We're just having fun, okay? Everybody ready? We're buying everything, okay? Oh my gosh, get your order. Whatever you want is on him. Yeah, I got TV money. One of everything on the show. Caitlin wasn't just the basketball phenom we all know. She was candid, funny, and totally down to earth. She shared stories that went way beyond the court. And I got to say, I don't think Caitlin Clark gets enough credit for her humor, because this episode was riddled with it, and I think it's safe to say that Caitlin Clark has had quite a busy off season. I mean, she hung out with Taylor Swift. She was on Eli Manning's podcast. She was on the Kelsey Brothers podcast, New Heights, but Netflix is a new one jaw-dropping moment. She casually revealed that she once scored 22 points in just 2 minutes during a scrimmage against a men's basketball team. Yep, 22 points, 120 seconds, and a bunch of guys trying to stop her. Unreal. And this was probably the most viral clip of them all. Caitlin Clark talking about how she scored 22 points in 2 minutes against a men's practice team. And here's the video of them talking about it. Truly a special moment. Speaking of videoing practices, there's one iconic scrimmage. There is, yeah, but nobody knows if it actually happened because they actually saw it. No, you know what happened. So we have a practice team that's just all guys. They have to be students at the university. They basically just volunteer their time. And I think we were down 15, so we make a couple threes, we cut it to 10. Maybe. I don't even know now. When you say we make a couple of threes, was it you? Or was everybody making threes? It was me, but the points went to the Iowa high five. So I think I had 22 points in 2 minutes was the moral of the story. I'm sorry, 22 points in 2. It's performances like that have everyone talking, going up against male players with clear physical advantages. Clark's achievement doesn't just impress, it challenges everything we thought we knew about what's possible. And they were jumping out of their chairs, going crazy. Usually I never react when something like I hit a big shot, or I do, but never in a shocked way. After my 5th 3 in a row, in a minute, I was oh my gosh. I couldn't believe. As the interview with David Letterman went on, Clark opened up about how she worked to improve her three-point game. She goes into the three-point line story about how she spray painted a three-point line because she wanted to get good at those logo bombs, and her dad tore out part of her driveway and they created a three-point line. She mentions how she originally wanted in her backyard, but that was a no-go with the rent. That's right, her dad literally tore up part of their driveway and spray painted a three-point line on it. Can you imagine that kind of dedication? A father physically altering their home so his daughter could chase a dream. It wasn't just about basketball, it was the start of something legendary. She seemed pretty humbled by the gesture, and she basically was saying she never expected to get where she was. She never expected to see people wearing her jersey, and she actually exceeded all her own expectations. That driveway isn't just a cute story, it's where Clark's journey truly began. Hours upon hours of practice on that makeshift court, shooting until her arms act, developing that muscle memory that would later leave defenders helpless. What's amazing is how Clark shared this with such humility on Letterman's show, almost as if she doesn't realize how extraordinary her origin story really is. Most kids have to adapt to whatever facilities are available. Clark's family adapted their home to nurture her unique talent threats. Letterman has actually been a fan of Caitlin since her Iowa days. They go over her breakout game against Michigan, where she drills 4 three-pointers in 6 minutes. She does get 30 points, but they lost the game. And then there's that Michigan game, the moment everything changed. Clark didn't just play well, she experienced what athletes call the zone, that rare mental state where everything slows down and the basket looks enormous. 4 three-pointers in just 6 minutes, not just any threes either. We're talking deep contested shots that had defenders shaking their heads here. Letterman talked about it. In final 6 minutes, you hit 4 three-pointers, scored 21 points, pulled the Hawkeyes within 5 with lost. Yeah, Michigan won, but Iowa was euphoric. People became aware of, oh my God, it's Caitlin Elizabeth Clark. What are we going to do? Clark described this game as her personal oh my gosh moment when she realized something special might be happening. Imagine getting home after a game, seeing yourself on SportsCenter, and suddenly understanding your life might never be the same. In final 6 minutes, you hit 4 three-pointers, scored 21 points, pulled the Hawkeyes within 5 with lost. Yeah, Michigan won. But Iowa was euphoric. People became aware of, oh my god, it's Caitlin Elizabeth Clark. What are we gonna do? Yeah, I remember, we obviously didn't have everybody active that game, but Coach Bleer wasn't even that mad that we didn't win. She was staring at the TV oh my gosh. Everybody was just kind of in awe. Even I was wow. We're on SportsCenter, that's amazing. It's seeing Santa on your roof. I know it's wow, I made SportsCenter top 10. I would stay up as a kid and watch that. So I feel that was definitely kind of the oh my gosh moment for sure. But you can see why Ball State University showed up in full force. When Clark appeared on Letterman's show, the standing ovation she received wasn't just polite applause, it was a thunderous recognition of greatness. This wasn't just any guest on a talk show. This was a cultural phenomenon walking into their auditorium. And how did Clark respond? With genuine surprise and humility, saying she never expected to get where she was. That's what makes her story so powerful, the contrast between her earth-shattering talent and her grounded personality. While Clark's talent propelled her to stardom, it's the challenges she faces that truly reveal her character. And at times they touched on some more serious topics, like the physicality in the league and whether or not she was being targeted by other players, which she responds that no, she was not being targeted by other players. When Letterman directly asked her if WNBA veterans were targeting her, Clark didn't play the victim or fuel the drama. Instead, she flipped the entire narrative with just 4 words. What does targeted mean? This simple question demonstrated her remarkable poise when faced with a loaded question that could have sparked major controversy. I know that this is a heavily debated topic that also does depend on what your meaning of targeted is, because if you are saying where did people have their eye on her because she was this crazy rookie phenom that entered the WNBA that everybody wanted to make sure didn't make them look like a chump or whatever, but some people believe that she was targeted in a nefarious manner, to which her response to that was that the WNBA does level up when you go from college to the WNBA. The women in the WBA have had years to work on the transition from college superstar to WNBA rookie hasn't been smooth sailing for Clark. Veterans aren't rolling out the red carpet for the most hyped rookie in league history, but rather than complaining about rough treatment, Clark's response to Letterman showcased her championship mindset. She refused to accept the premise that she was being singled out unfairly, instead acknowledging the natural competitiveness of professional sports. And she did mention how in the offseason, that was what she was focusing on, getting bigger to go up against these more experienced, more yoked players. You can tell a lot about an athlete by how they handle adversity, and Clark's response spoke volumes. She embraced the physical nature of the pro game as a natural part of competing at the highest level. These women have years of experience and no swagger, Clark explained, showing respect for the veterans while refusing to portray herself as a victim of unfair treatment. Clark transformed what could have been a complaint into a growth opportunity. Instead of dwelling on the physicality, she pivoted to discussing her off-season plans to build strength in the gym. When faced with a challenge, her instinct isn't to blame others but to ask, how can I get better? The bowling segment with Letterman revealed another layer of Clark's competitive fire. There you go. Come on, you mother. That was better. I sense that you were reluctant to do that. You're my opponent. Oh, that's right. When Letterman extended his hand for a high five, Clark hesitated. I'm your competitor, she declared, refusing the friendly gesture like a chess player who never relaxes. Even during casual games, Clark carries her competitive spirit into everything she does, a mindset essential for surviving the pressure cooker of professional basketball, where every move she makes is dissected by millions heard of before. And her competitive spirit kind of shined as she was super reluctant to give David Letterman a high five after a pretty solid roll. Am I up? This fierce competitive streak has been both Clark's greatest strength and sometimes her greatest challenge. During the interview, she discussed how coach Lisa Bleda had to help her manage her emotions